One timeout, one formation, one silent adjustment can decide a season before the ball ever leaves the quarterback's hand in January. Football looks violent from the stands, but behind every collision is a quiet room where coaches move pieces before kickoff. The mistake is calling it war first. Football is closer to chess because every square has consequences waiting underneath. Belichick's football education was never built on speeches. It was built on film, leverage, disguise, and patience. Reid's genius grew differently. He turned offense into language, teaching quarterbacks to read space before panic arrived. Before the hit, there is information. Motion asks a question. Coverage answers, unless the defense knows how to lie. A blitz is not just aggression. It is a sacrifice, a threat, or sometimes a decoy meant to steal protection. Belichick did not chase stars first. He hunted tendencies, forcing opponents to play left-handed when the pressure rose. Reid's answer was not brute force. It was spacing, timing, misdirection, and trusting Patrick Mahomes to solve the board. Long before New England, Belichick helped shape Giants defenses that learned championship football could be controlled by details. Against Buffalo's fast offense, the lesson was restraint. Sometimes the winning move is allowing small yards, not panic. In Philadelphia, Reid built contenders with Donovan McNabb, learning how close strategy can come before finishing becomes brutal. Chess is not only play calling, it is roster building, where one overlooked piece can later protect an entire kingdom. When Kansas City moved for Mahomes in 2017, Reid was not buying comfort, he was buying possibility. When Drew Bledsoe was injured in 2001, New England's board changed, and Belichick trusted a young Tom Brady. Mahomes did not arrive as a finished answer. Reid gave him structure first, then room to become dangerous. On Reid's board, motion is a bishop sliding diagonally, forcing defenders to reveal what they tried to hide. Belichick's defense could look simple until the snap, then rotate like a trapdoor beneath the quarterback's feet. Brady and Belichick became terrifying because they solved problems together, turning pressure into another language opponents had to understand. Mahomes and Reid changed the board by refusing straight lines. Broken plays became extensions of the original design. Every great coach inherits a board already shaped by history, then tries to bend the next era toward himself. Against the Rams in Super Bowl 36, New England disrupted rhythm, shortened space, and made a famous offense work slowly. Reid reached Super Bowl 39 with Philadelphia, but Belichick's Patriots showed how narrow the championship board could become. Clock management is chess under noise, where seconds become pieces, and panic is the easiest way to lose them. His best defenses were rarely random. They were positionless puzzles, asking every player to understand the next man's job. Reid's red zone creativity made crowded grass feel wider, using motion and leverage where brute strength usually takes over. For Belichick, halftime was not a speech contest. It was an audit, correcting the smallest leak before collapse. Reid's calm mattered, because creative offenses still need discipline when defenses steal their favorite answers away. The board is not 64 squares, it is 53 yards wide, and every inch changes the calculation. Belichick loved conditions, because conditions reveal discipline. Bad weather removes style and leaves only preparation. Reid's teams looked playful on Sundays, because the freedom had already been rehearsed thousands of times in August. Even the best board can crack. In Super Bowl 42, pressure reached Brady before perfection could survive. Reid's Philadelphia years carried respect and frustration together, proof that good strategy still needs the final move. Their dynasty was not just Brady's arm or Belichick's defense. It was shared problem-solving under impossible repetition. Reid did not cage Mahomes' improvisation. He built rails around it, so chaos still returned to purpose. A chess coach sees beyond the next snap. He sees contracts, injuries, matchups, weather, and the opponent's fear. Belichick's answers were famously short, because the real conversation happened on tape, not at the microphone. Reid's public warmth could hide how ruthless his designs were, once defenses gave him the wrong leverage. Coverage disguise is football's fork. Show one threat, protect another, and make the quarterback choose too late. Misdirection is not trickery for its own sake. Reid uses it to make disciplined defenders betray their first rule. Belichick treated role players like chess pieces with exact jobs. A pawn mattered if it controlled the right square. Reid's system gave role players chances, but only because every motion and landmark had to be precise. In the 2018 AFC Championship, Belichick and Reid met with Brady and Mahomes, two eras colliding in overtime. Brady's late conversions were not accidents. They were experienced moves, finding the soft square when noise tried to erase thought. Mahomes answered with velocity and imagination, reminding everyone that a new kind of quarterback was entering the board. Overtime exposed football's cruelty. Reid's best piece waited on the sideline, while Brady controlled the first possession. Belichick won that night, but Reid had shown the league a future nobody could ignore for long. Dynasties rarely end with one whistle. They fade while another coach studies the same board from a different angle. In Super Bowl LIV, Reid's long wait met Mahomes' late-game nerve, and Kansas City finally finished the move. For Reid, the first Lombardi was not a sudden coronation. It was decades of teaching, finally surviving February. Belichick's sixth Patriots title came through defense again, a reminder that control can be louder than fireworks. Belichick compressed the field. Different philosophies, same obsession. Make the opponent solve what he hates most. The champion's reward is attention. After Reid won, every defensive staff in football began preparing answers. When Brady left New England, Belichick faced the lesson every chess player knows. Pieces cannot be replaced by memory. Brady's success elsewhere did not erase Belichick. It complicated the argument, which is what honest history does. Super Bowl LV reminded Reid that even genius breaks when protection fails and the board collapses too quickly. Mahomes fought every snap, but Tampa Bay's defense proved a chess truth. Attack the king before creativity develops. The loss did not end Reid's idea. It forced him to refine it, because great coaches study pain honestly. Belichick's later years showed a harsher truth. The system still needs enough talent to execute the trap. Reid responded like a chess coach after losing material. Rebuild the center, protect the king, reopen the attack. Super Bowl LVII gave Reid the strangest board. His old franchise, his new quarterback, and decades of memory. Reid beat Philadelphia not by outrunning memory, but by using motion, patience, and Mahomes' trust at the hardest moments. Even controversy fits the chessboard. Close games are decided where technique, timing, and interpretation meet under pressure. Belichick's legacy asks how much control football allows. Reid's asks how much freedom a structure can survive. Belichick understood hidden yards. Punts, penalties, substitutions, and field position were not boring. They were invisible pressure. Reid's aggression is often mistaken for comfort with risk. Really, it is confidence in preparation and quarterback processing. Reid hunts matchups like open files in chess, moving Kelce until the defense admits its weakest square. Belichick often began by asking one ruthless question: what can the opponent not live without today? Mahomes' arm makes highlights, but Reid's greatest trust is in his quarterback's mind between snaps. The system punished confusion before opponents ever had to. Belichick saw special teams as chess endgames, where one mistake in space could decide everything quietly. Even Reid's offensive machine needed hidden support. Field position lets creativity breathe before the first call arrives. By Super Bowl LVII, Reid's Chiefs were no longer just explosive. They were experienced enough to win ugly. Overtime in Las Vegas became Reid's modern chessboard, and Mahomes kept finding moves after the clock should have suffocated him. The repeat title placed Reid beside history's heaviest names, not because he copied dynasties, but because he adapted. Football history does not choose one kind of genius. It remembers coaches who made opponents uncomfortable for years. Belichick's influence spread because his defenses taught the league that comfort is the first thing to remove. Reid's influence spread because his offenses taught the league that space can be manufactured, not merely found. Chess metaphors can sound clean, but football's pieces are people carrying bruises, careers, and doubt back home. Every adjustment has a cost. A formation change can mean one blocker, one safety, one body taking more punishment. The public sees Sunday. Coaches live with Monday, when every choice returns on film without mercy. That is why the game travels. Once fans see the strategy, every snap becomes a question. Between plays, football becomes pure calculation. Personnel, clock, field, tendency, fatigue, and what the opponent expects next. The violence is real, but the meaning comes before impact, in the decisions that make contact unavoidable. Belichick proved that football could be controlled for longer than anyone expected, if every weakness was hunted daily. Reid proved that freedom can be coached if the structure underneath is strong enough to survive chaos. So the question was never whether football is war. The deeper question is who understands the board first. Belichick and Reid did not make football less physical. They made every collision feel planned, earned, and remembered. Their greatest impact may be this. Millions now watch the snap before the snap, searching for the hidden move. The scoreboard tells who won. The board reveals why. And in football, the next move is always waiting.